Hey there! In this lesson we are going to be talking about short stories. In short stories there's a lot that can be packed in not very much space, and so you really got to pay attention to a lot of separate things. This presentation will go through a few of those things that we want you to be focusing on in this lesson. First thing we want to look at is just an overview of the things we're going to be focusing on: theme, symbols, point of view, and plot devices. First, we want to think about theme. We've done theme before in English, but we want to go a little deeper this time. You can think about theme as the lesson you can learn about what it is to be human. So while you're reading, you want to ask yourself, what can I learn about life from this story? A lot of stories have very broad themes like what it's like to grow up, or family life can be difficult, or making good decisions is an important aspect of being human. Themes are very general, not specific. A story has a specific way of showing that theme, but the theme in and of itself can be very broad. Next, we want to talk about how short stories also have symbols. Some of the short stories you're going to be reading in this lesson have symbols, some do not. The important thing to remember about symbols is that symbols can influence the theme. For example here, what is the symbol? Obviously a flag, but if you got that it was a white flag and that means surrender as a symbol, then ding ding ding, you were correct. I would guess that maybe the theme of the story has something to do with the symbol of surrendering. Next, we want to look at point of view, which I will refer to as POV. Point of view has to do with the narrator, the person telling the story. There's several types of point of view. First person, where it's a person in the story using pronouns like I, me. Third person, which is a person outside of the story. You can kind of think of it as somebody out on the outside looking in. Third person, omniscient point of view, is omniscient means all-seeing. So like in this picture, you're standing at the top of a skyscraper, you can see everything below you. Just like that, the narrator in a story can see everything. On top of that, not only can they see everything that's happening everywhere, they know what every single person in the story is thinking. They are an outsider, not a character in the story. Next, we want to look at some plot devices. You can think of plot devices as like special effects for the plot. So not only is it an adventure story, they have explosions that can influence the plot of the story. Since short stories are generally so short and packed in such a small space, authors use plot devices to really make them interesting and get across what they want to get across to the reader, including theme. The first plot device that I want to talk about is story within a story. It's when, in the story, you're reading the story, you're going along, and then a character starts telling a story in the story. So you have to be real sure that you're not getting confused as to what is going on. The next plot device is epiphany. Now, epiphany means a sudden insight, a sudden understanding. So it's like this guy looking at the light bulb and saying, oh my gosh, I suddenly understand, and it is the climax of the story. So, while you are reading the short stories in this lesson, please pay attention to the theme, symbols that it may or may not have, point of view, and plot devices. So just like the kitty cat's paying attention, you need to pay attention too.